Reserve time.
fit, but versus
Reserve DC's turn to pick.
bullies out the supports a bit and forces the offlaner to get something.
Do you think you maybe take Ogre here just to sit with Invoker? He's still in the pool.
It actually, yeah, Ogre. I mean, Ogre fits fine. Why not?
Point. It's been such a commonplace presence.
Oh, they go with Undying.
Okay. Gives him more team fight, more early game potential, and Miser's played it a few times here. He's been playing a little bit of a different hero pool than what we're used to seeing.
This guy.
God, the excitement is just radiating through the theater.
Is it cold in the arena? I didn't think so.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Welcome.
That reaction though.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It's not every day you're woken up by a crowd and, and the internet.
It gives you an applause when you wake up.
A crowd waking you up with an applause. Beautiful. Love that.
The Undying also gives DC a bit of sustain. Obviously, with like Luna, you usually want like one hero that can kind of just heal you up a bit to be able to do your pushes in a better manner. Gives you that as well. And I mean, maybe they'll do for like I mentioned before, like the dual lanes, like they've been liking to do.
Yeah.
They could do like Undying +1 for Moon, and then doing the Rubik Luna short lane. But at the same time, they also like to switch the lanes, like I said. So they could throw the Luna in the off lane with like 2 supports and go for some type of aggro potential since there is a Chen.
Yeah, is this something you're looking forward to? You said Misery's drafting is fun because you don't know where things are going.
Yeah.
Have you got what you asked for? Has this been an enjoyable draft phase so far? I mean,
Yeah, definitely. I didn't think that they'd pick the Invoker so soon. They're really saving Moon's hero for last.
whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time they picked the Undying, they had the Sand King with it for the dual lane,
Yes.
I believe. So that is already removed. So it's gonna be a new one. And in terms of heroes that go well with Undying, there's actually a lot. You can go very diverse with it.
Yeah, Darkseer is like one of the ones, most of the ones that come to mind.
It's a stable one, but you can go Spirit Breaker if you really want. You can,
Yeah.
you can go.
They haven't got any jump at the moment. They really don't have much jump. I mean, until you get like a blink on the Rubik or something, I guess. But
Yeah, there's still the Slardar option still there for sure. Darkseer, those two. The Darkseer gives them like the mech timing window, so if they want to go for something like that, and able to like deal with Faceless's massive push lineup, which they're obviously going for with that DK pickup.
that way they
Or
have
they
like
can go
mech
for
and
Slardar.
Soul Rip as well.
Yeah.
And, yeah, have a bit of sustain.
Increase sustain for
Yeah.
sure. They even
About
ban
that?
out the Slark now too.
Yeah. I do
Goodbye,
like the
Slark.
Slardar with the amplified damage on the Dragonite as well. It makes him a bit more easier to chew through.
I think the Slark ban, it's like something that Faceless was doing a lot, at least in the SCA qualifiers. They were doing like, they picked like 4 of their standard heroes, and then they would just pick a Slark, and they're like, okay, we have this at least backup resort if the game gets to like a later stage, which we don't really want to, but we can. Not the most needed that they want, but yeah, it could be a potential.
I wonder if they would
think the
even take
Darkseer is happening.
Earthshaker. If they're looking into a big push, I wonder if Earthshaker would be a thing. I've seen Moon play it before.
Yeah, that's not in quite a while, but yeah, Moon has a pretty
He
legendary
has a
shaker.
very good shaker,
Yeah.
and if you've got a Chen army and you've got illusions and everything, actually illusions, I don't know if they trigger Echo, but I can't remember. Purge would know.
They do.
That's why Purge should be on the panel.
do.
Fire Pyrian.
They do.
Corpses and illusions do.
Corpses.
Not snowing in Boston.
I'm sure
Dead
you
bodies.
mean
Reserve time.
Dead things.
things
They,
that are
they
in
do the
line
echo.
world.
Yeah, they do like the echo return as well.
That's confusing.
I heard there was supposed to be snow in Boston, by the way.
It snowed
I
a
was
few days ago.
I
It's
didn't
just
see it.
roof snow. Whoa, what's happened to the crowd? Oh, I see, we're looking through
Okay,
something.
so they go for another like push hero that can work well with their team too,
Yeah.
Terrorblade, and it gives them that late game type potential.
Terribly.
telling
And
you.
also, what is it? An illusion spammer with Shadow
Yeah,
Demon.
Yeah.
So not only do they have the Luna on the other team, they have their own Terrorblade on top of that.
This
And
is a
I like the draft. It's a
good
good one.
lineup.
Yeah.
lineup. Yeah, let's see what DC can do. telling you, man, Earthshaker. Oh,
Okay.
Legion,
Legion
okay.
commander.
that's
Sick.
I think that's a really interesting approach toward the Shadow Terrorblade, being able to spam him out and Legion Commander versus hit by hard lane for the helping him out.
I'm excited. Like the draft then, Ted. You thinking Faceless could put up a bit of a fight?
Yeah, no, Faceless' draft is good. Yeah, it's a solid, it's a pretty obvious strat, but it's hard to beat. So it's going to be a close one, but DC, come on, DC.
Yeah, we're giving DC the edge, there's no doubt about it. It hasn't been easy for Faceless so far in this tournament. In fact, they've played over just over 2 hours of Dota, not picking up a single game yet. 0-2 in the group stage, and now they stand on single elimination. DC stand against them, and it is time for their first game. To guide you through the action is going to be the voices of Winter and LD. Enjoy.
5 seconds.
Well, Winter, not a whole lot of surprises for one as far as that draft goes. Get ready for our opening match. They DC versus Faceless. Blade them that well. Do you think DC?
Thing or Black likes to play morphing, but they went for the push at the end of the day. So you're gonna be able to apply more pressure against the enemy team. But DC went for a great last pick though. LC is very good against Terrorblade and is also very good at initiating on the Tidehunter.
Well, we might be quite far away from Southeast Asia, but a decent Faceless contingent here, I have to say, on more of DC's home turf, I guess you would expect. So nice to see the fans here bright and early in Boston. We get underway. Opening match of the day. As usual, it will be an elimination best of 3. Overall thoughts on the series. Faceless has looked very shaky coming in. There was a lot of hype about this team after their performance in some online Southeast Asian matches, but ever since they came to the Summit 6, they seem to really be struggling.
Dude, it's all your fault.
Did we slip something in their food?
It's all your fault, your event, you know. You made them swap their roles, X, Y, and Nuts now.
The fix is in, Winter.
One is on, it was XY playing the 4 role before at your event, and now he's playing the 5 role. And Nuts will be on the Chen.
I will say one of their ways to relax was, you know, a little CSGO, and perhaps the results in there had some influence on the role swap.
Oh, sure, you're blaming it on CSGO
Black was
now.
louder. Black was louder in their CS than he was in the Dota. I'll say that much.
DC have the Undying, so they have control of the runes, and they're gonna snag themselves to both the runes here. Good play by DC using the Undying pick to just secure the other rune.
Yeah, that early bully action. So, looking at the lanes, we are going to see Nuts. It looks like heading back to his own jungle for the time being. Does have an early smoke picked up. Helping a bit with the mid block. Yep. But thoughts on the Chen pick this game, the way DC is playing against it? They've not actually blocked his camps. They did get a ward down to scout his movements, though.
Yep, I was gonna go to that. So basically, because they didn't block off the camps, but they have a ward here, they're gonna be able to scout out the Chen if he moves. But the thing is, there's only one ward on the left side. Oh, top lane, maybe we might see action here. Misery running in from the side.
Yeah, Moon Meander playing rather aggressively with the stout shield, but has the help of Misery, as you mentioned. So, we'll see if Nuts wants to make any kind of early movements. For now, all his progression through the jungle being scouted, so they know he's in the neighborhood. Yeah, it's not really the easiest lane to gank. They are quite tanky.
He needs to decide whether he wants to help the top lane or the bottom lane. Like, he needs to make a move. You can't play that passive farming Chen.
Meanwhile, Ice is getting bullied here in the bottom lane, even with the 1-point Kraken shell. Already forced to salve up.
Yep, and the lane is pushing for him though, so this is not that great. He needs to be able to hit level 3 for him to stay in the lane very well. And top lane, the Chen is moving in with the Shadow Demon Disruption to start.
Let's see if they're gonna make that jump. Black has not taken a skill point yet. Could go into the Metamorph.
He could also go for the Reflection if he feels that they need a slow to set up. But I think overall, look, it really has to rely on what Nuts gets on his Chen. Like, he needs very good creeps for this gank to work.
Yeah, for now, just the war of attrition. The Harpy Stormcrafter, probably the most annoying creep right now for constant harass along with the Satyr Blast.
The Chen needs to get a kill for his team soon. Look, if you look at the CS across the board, this is really, really bad for FL. Like, Faceless lanes are not going too well.
The one lane that is going well, Jab's having a very good time on the Dragon Knight, already 10-3, and Weeha only 4-3, but generally those early levels for Invoker Winter, that's where he tends to struggle a bit.
And by the way, dude, I've been watching a lot of games where players are doing really well on DK. Even yesterday there was a game, DK versus Timbersaw. You should have a bad time in that matchup, but still, players are getting better at using that brief fire, you know, to get more last hit and make it very difficult for the opponent to get last hits in the laning phase. So.
Yeah, the damage reduction 35% at all levels, so even that early single point can make a big difference.
But still, like you say, Invoker is weaker at the first few levels. Eventually he's going to catch up, being able to farm the jungle. But the main concern for Faceless is the top lane and bottom lane.
No one expects the early Tidehunter courier snipe. He's got 10 seconds here to kill it off. It's gonna walk right into his waiting arms. Ice, one more swing. He'll bring it down, snipes the courier, and gets Faceless on the board. Their ward, Winter, is designed to keep eyes on the Ancients, but as a result, they did not see this movement.
Yep, this is a pretty good ward, honestly, for Tide, if you want to see him scouting. Unfortunately, it doesn't scout him picking up that rune. Supports didn't really scout the rune before as well, so there was not much we could have done about it without the information. Going in with disruption.
Metamorph is in Meander. The other thing is they can't easily push in either.
Like if you go on the LC, he's gonna be killed up by Misery on the Undying with the story. So it's very difficult to kill and Undying with the decay stacks on him, it's also not an easy target. Like I feel like the Chen should be trying to help elsewhere. Maybe the bottom lane to start off would be a good choice for him. But right now he's not accomplishing much throughout the lanes. All their lanes are not going too well. Airblade is not pre-farm. That is a huge problem for the hero.
Yeah, in the mid lane, is catching up now as he gets the third point in Exhort. Last hitting gets easier. Aquila now complete. All of a sudden, he's hitting for about 100 a pop with every auto attack.
I mean, despite the fact that Invoker has a weaker first few levels, but I think the main reason DC picked up have that Sunstrike try isolatively run up and try to harry.
They'll look someone under lockdown, and then the duel, most importantly. So they have plenty of ways to find kills. And along with that, Moonmeander, he is getting his levels in the off lane. Already 4 in the duel lane.
He's getting more than levels. Very, very good farm as well on
17
on
CS. That is a lot for an off lane
The
Legion.
Tide has to get an Iron Talent. Okay, he has an Iron Talent.
Oh, he has stepped up a little bit. Moonmeander a bit too far, and now the clap's going to come through after the disruption. They even commit the Metamorph, but Moonmeander very tanky with the poor man's shield. I don't even think they can bring him down, only to half health. He ran into all 3, and not even close to going down there.
Poor man shield plus press the attack there. Misery not in the lane, but they still couldn't really kill him. That is huge problems for the Chen. 5 minutes into the game, the Chen has not accomplished anything apart from right now trying to push the tower.
On the other side, you've got DC aggressively trying to push down the tier 1 bottom. Tombstone gets dropped. They don't even need the Sunstrike. DC gonna find an easy kill there. Weeha just continue to farm it up mid. Now Jabs can look to apply a little bit of counter pressure. He's chipping away at this tower.
This is really, really bad for Faceless. They used their Metamorphosis. They didn't get a kill. They couldn't pressure the tower because LC is able to, have a good amount of deep push with his overwhelming odds. This is not looking good for Faceless at all in the lane. Oh, Ice is getting lifted.
Just TP's back in. They do have a very high level Lucent being already level 3. It's about a third of Ice's health. It feels like Sunstrike could finish it off. They do maintain vision on him for now.
He's not trying for the Sunstrike, but meanwhile...
Not yet. You gotta think he's gonna give it a shot.
They TP'd Jabs in on the Dragon Knight and didn't really get any kills.
Ice is so worried about the Sunstrike.
Oh, is it coming?
He's still juking around. Finally gonna limber back while Misery. But maybe get eyes on him, go for that K kill.
I was quite surprised they did not actually land the Sunstrike earlier. With the lift and the short stun from the Lucent Beam, that should give them more than enough time to land the Sunstrike. But
they're seeing if he's being greedy.
Whoa, they're scanning.
Then you Sunstrike.
Yeah, that's a good point. They probably could have scanned right around the base and land the Sunstrike.
Either way, they don't need that kill. I mean, I think that's the real point here. DC, they've shut down the early Chen Shadow Demon push, so now Faceless... I don't know if you would call it Plan B Winter, but they're not getting that early tier 1 that they normally look for. Where do they go from here? What's the next big timing that they can look forward to, or do they even have one in the near future?
The next Dragon Knight ulti, they have to use it with a smoke gank from the supports or the Tide Ravage, but Tide Sunstrike, I hear a Sunstrike.
Moonmeander almost at duel. He ran right into black. He was still level 5. Now he has it, so the next time he runs in, that could be an easy kill.
But still, considering everything that happened, despite not getting that kill on the fight, DC are in great shape right now, and they will be the first ones making the move with Luna Ultimate. So, Faceless, I said, they need
Faceless making a move of their own, though. Onto the top lane, they're going to find Moonmeander. Disruption comes through. Black does have access to Sunder. Not going to need to use it. The chain stun from the Centaur comes out. Actually will Sunder in the end, but kill secured. Faceless grab an important one.
Jabs might be caught out here.
Resolution does have that nighttime vision, but
he's moving to join his team at top lane to secure the tower.
And in doing so, he will dodge the gank Saxo was looking for.
But still, if DC can actually get a trade-off here, 1-for-1 tower, that will be super good for them, like very ideal.
There is a glyph available for both teams.
They're sending Sasa up top to slow the push with his Fate Bolt, and the rest of the team is allocated mid to secure the tower. There are 2 heroes here to de-push. The LC plus the Rubik, and XY is looking for initiation to stop them from trying to drag the creep wave away.
Well, Glyph now committed as Jabs is going to rotate. They don't have the Ravage yet on Ice, unfortunately. Did struggle a bit in the off lane.
Can I get it?
No! Gosh! No such luck. Even with 2 heroes there in tandem, unable to do so.
That was huge, Gorman. That was absolutely huge for DC right there, getting that kill on the tower. Faceless
It means a faster Midas here for Weeha.
Faceless really not getting a break at all, but at the very least they got the last hit on the tower at top. XY got the last hit. And they're gonna smoke up. They have to get a kill somewhere. They need to keep the pressure on. Like DC is getting way too much out of the early game.
And you can already see that the Terrorblade Illusion's not going to be that effective in at least the early to mid game against this Legion commander.
They have a very good heroes to clear out the illusions.
And late game you've got the Glaives. Fade Bolt even, quite irritating. The Faceless do group up, try to shove in this mid lane a little bit.
They do have their Ravage up, so if they want to fight around the Ravage, that's possible for them right now. They need to secure as many towers as they can with their big cooldowns. The Ravage and the Metamorphosis are really big cooldowns for Faceless, so every time they pop in, they have to get a tower, they have to get objectives like Roshan or win a team fight, and DC not going to let that happen too easily. They're going to defend the
looking for the duel in the mid lane, but the Dragon Tail interrupting Moomiander's movement forward as XY tries to find a setup. He does jump onto Misery. No Demonic Purge just yet. They able to convert that into a kill, but all the while DC, they already took down the tier 1 top, so that makes now all 3 outer towers down for Faceless. Meanwhile, DC only lost 1.
This is bad. They have the Chen and the Dragon Knight. This should be the other way around. They should be taking the towers and defending their towers. But Jep's gonna get his rune snapped away by...
They do find Moomiander. They're ready here. Preppy with the Sentry. They'll drop it down, but Moon quite tanky. And they just can't bring him down. He's gonna heal himself back up with the press the attack. And we'll be able to walk away. Faceless again being denied. The Dire Courier, meanwhile, getting sniped.
Wow, that was a lot of gold inside.
And it had the Helm of Iron Will on it.
Oh my god.
Just nothing really going their way since that early Ice Courier snipe. It's been
that was even
quietly but thoroughly all DC all the way.
That was such a bonus. You can't really expect that to happen. And apart from, I think the reason why everything was bad for FL in the early game was because the Chen hasn't, made a lot of ganks happen. He moved to top lane, but like I mentioned, top lane was a very difficult lane for him to kill.
And they couldn't push either, so he just didn't really get anything done.
Yep, that's why I suggested probably going to the off lane would be like how Na'Vi plays their Chen. You go to the off, you grab a creep, you go to the off lane, you help the off laner right away. What he did this game was he grabbed a creep and he went to his safe lane.
There's also more gank paths there, more ways to flank behind the tower.
You could pressure the mid as well if you're doing that. That's the beauty of going to the off lane first. But
it was a Quas Exhort Invoker who didn't really have any help, so he's pretty gankable at those early levels. But that is all behind Faceless now as DC by themselves on the offensive. They have a stolen Dragon Tail to combine with the lift. Sox a very long lockdown and expecting some ancient shenanigans from Faceless. Not the case just yet. But they move in. Dire Scan just barely clipping Moon as he squirmed through. Ice. I'm not sure he was paying attention. He stuck around, and now the Lucid Beam's going to hit him. He will commit the Ravage. Is he going to TP out, or does his team try to come and fight way too far away?
He still did.
Into the tree, so Ravage down.
That was a bad Ravage there.
And a Sunstrike will mark not only the kill, but also the 280th duel victory for Moomiander.
He was at the same time trying to make sure that Rubik doesn't steal his Ravage, so he had to spend like half a second to cast that anchor, so it didn't give him a lot of time to try and get away with from the LC.
Well, or you could just not Ravage.
I mean, he was like, I don't want to give him dual damage. Oh god, we had denied the tower.
Oh my god. Two trains crossing paths in the night here, but it seems the Faceless one about to get derailed. They'll send home jabs. Armlet is coming. Nuts nowhere near a mech, it looks like.
I mean, going back to how Faceless is going to be able to... Oh, Eclipse bottom lane?
Not done just yet. Ice trying to shimmy away, and he will survive, so at least the Eclipse committed. Sunstrike, though, looking for the kill. Won't find it. But if they want a 5-man Winter, it's not going to be too easy. They don't have a mech on Nuts. He's still not level 6 at 13 minutes as a Chen.
They have to rely on their big... Oh, Ice. Oh, he's toying with them, He's really toying with them. But Faceless has to, group up and use their big cooldowns. They have to get themselves back into the game through using their big abilities to get objectives, win a team fight. But Moomiander here is trying to get a duel. Oh, he's gonna get it!
Oh, he finds Jets too, and this is without the armlet. Easy takedown. Duel number 2. Another winner for Moon.
Such good movement here by DC moving around the map. The only criticism I can have for them is not using the Sunstrike with the Rubik Lifts earlier, but they are using it really well with the LC duel, securing him another duel victory right there, and another tower against the Chen Terrorblade lineup. This is what you do not want to happen if you're Faceless. You should be the ones pushing the tower. You want to be the ones pushing the towers.
And on top of not only taking that tower, DC now going to take over the stack of Faceless, using the Forge Spirits here in tandem with Resolution. They're going to steal the whole stack, Winter. Tombstone gets dropped on the high ground. Faceless, how do they even move in? There's no Ravage ready. The Ancient's quickly being brought down, and Moon ready to come back in. He's going to have a duel soon. Sunstrike at the ready. They get the lift off onto Ice Ice Ice. Nearly dead just from that. Continues to be forced back. They can send him home, and in the meanwhile, Sunstrike coming in. There's the disruption to save him. Should by the time he needs to get away. He will go poof, but the Ancient's already cleaned up. Can they turn this? Sonic Solo, not dead just yet. Has stolen the Test of Faith, tries to make it out. Looks like he'll survive. The trade, though, is Misery on the Undying, so they lose the Undying. Tombstone now down, and DC definitely going to want to retreat here.
Yep, if only they had Eclipse on Resolution, that they would have definitely taken that fight. But still on cooldown for 30 seconds, so that allows Faceless to be able to win that fight, even though they didn't really have Ravage up yet. They just got it up, so to see what Faceless decides to do with their cooldowns right now. They are trying to get Roshan.
Yeah, Eclipse down for a little bit longer, I suppose, and Undying just respawning.
They have a TD on Jubs.
And with the armor, this is a lot of bonus damage for him, hitting nearly 300 for auto attack. Black committing to the Metamorph here. They're going to go for the Roche. Looks like so far, sign of a contest from DC. They're just pushing out the other lanes, but already BO3's up on Weeha. You've got Resolution farming very well.
Look at what his team is doing. Roshan is all by himself at the bottom lane.
Well, is he though? Or our friends just around the corner?
He was alone just now. There were no friends in sight, but because he was playing so aggressively, DC were like, oh, they might be around him, but then again, it's Ice, so you never know.
Or maybe he'll just be alone and ravage your whole team and try to run away.
If you see someone like Burning farming like this, you know he has backup. But if you see someone like Ice doing that, you're like, is he actually alone? Or maybe not.
Mind games.
Yeah, the mind games that's allowing his team to, even though DC weren't really going there to, contest the Roche, but it was still good play by the offlaner to make sure that the enemy doesn't know what your team is actually doing. Are they behind you? Are they doing something else? You keep them guessing, so it allows his team to safely secure the Roshan.
So Winter, boost in momentum here for Faceless. They're still down about 5,000 gold, 3,000 experience, and I think it's about time we start talking about how the teams match up heading into the mid and the late game. How do you feel Faceless can fare, given they're obviously not hitting the early push timing they wanted? Do they have plan B?
They're pretty good late game with the disrupt on the Terrorblade illusions. DK somewhat decent late game, and Tidehunter. I think Tidehunter is great late game because of the fact that when the BKBs go down to 5 seconds and you hit their refresher timing, Tide will be extremely strong. But, Misery is going to get initiated here by Jab on the stun. Gush followed up by Ice.
Very tanky though.
Yes, Max, so that is not an easy kill at all for Faceless.
Yeah, did not want to blow a Ravage just for that kill.
The Ravage is like one of their spells right now. If they use it, they have to get bare minimum 2 kills or objectives. They can't use it,
or at least a core. Just can't be getting support on that.
They can't just use it to kill support, or like what Ice did in the bottom lane to get away, to not give away the duel depth. Right now, they are not in a favorable position. Not big altitude, he gets the stun, pretty good steal for him. What's interesting, or he wants to go for like a more carry, like with Shadow Blade, which allows him to maybe build into the Silver Edge. That's pretty good against the Tide later on.
Yeah, even the Dragon Knight as well.
Yeah, that too.
Faceless grouping up under cover of smoke. At the same time, the DC are mirroring that movement. They head towards top for Digital Chaos, and Faceless trotting down to the bottom lane. But there's a tier 1 here, so that should be an easy grab.
That was like good play by DC. Wow.
Unfortunately, not an easy last hit.
What?
Weeha with the Forge Spirit Tower deny. That's now 2 for him.
3 for him if you count the last hit that he got on the tower in mid lane, where FL was trying to deny the tower and he managed to get the last hit against 2 heroes.
It doesn't lead to a lot of blood on the field, but it's a big swing in gold. Probably about 2k net worth overall.
DC just making the right movement. They know this Black was at the bottom lane before, and they know they have A game, so they do not want to fight into them. So immediately they move to top. They're keeping all the lanes pushed out. This is what you want. This is what you want when you're not gonna fight the enemy. You keep the lanes pushed up and Resolution prepping the top tier 3 tower, forcing the glitch out of Faceless.
Simultaneously, Faceless do take down the tier 2, so they match what DC already did, and finally they'll get the last hit uncontested.
Finally.
A little gold for them.
Getting last hit on towers, yeah?
They do have Blink Ravage now. Maybe they could find a setup here. This could be huge for Ice. It is only a level 1 Ravage. Gotta be careful
Did they have
About the
vision on
Rubik.
ice before? So do they know about the blink?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they probably don't. This could be big for Faceless.
But look at the positioning of Misery. This is A, the worst hero to jump on, and B,
and look at
he's
top
unlikely to even get caught.
top
Breaks
lane.
the smoke,
Luna
backs
is
away.
pushing the lane as well, so it makes it very difficult for Faceless to make a move. They need to get their lanes pushed out. When you want a 5-man, the most important thing for you is to make sure you get all the lanes pushed out, then you're able to 5-man. But if the lanes are not pushed out, then it becomes very obvious when you're trying to make a smoke play, make a rotation. It becomes very easy to guess for the opponents.
So Faceless going to have to slow things down here for the moment. They are closing in. Finally, Nuts getting nearer and nearer. That Chen Aghanim Scepter simultaneously. We do see Black up to 2,300 gold, so it could be the completed Manta for him.
Oh, so they actually totally forgo the mech. No one actually built a mech on the Faceless side. Since they went
Perhaps Ice could go back for it, but at that point, is it even worth it?
Not sure if he still wants to go for it or he's going to opt for something like a 4-star, more mobility items. You want to have mobility items against like the Rubik Leaf since you are going to be able to remove the Leaf duration if you get a 4-star on your teammate.
You can see the overall tenor of the game here with all the tower denies and last hits, the constant farming for the Weevoker, who by the way has carried more than his fair share of games as a single core Invoker going into the late game. And in this case has a Luna and a Legion to back him up. BC do continue to pull a bit farther ahead. They're even going to start to pressure the mid lane, grouping up the whole squad, rotating into position now. And they're going to let Resolution be the man in front. Already not only Manta complete, but an Ogre Club to go along with it. Out farming the enemy Terrorblade for now.
They're just starting to push once the Aegis is gone. So DC feeling they are much stronger than their opponents right now. But still, if you look at their heroes, they are pretty close to their Aghanims on Invoker, though they might want to consider having it. But
who's going to get the good initiation though? Moon has a blink, but at the same time there's the disruption with Aether Lens on XY and Ice with his own blink.
You don't really want to make a first move on Legion unless you get the type.
They could go for it. Jab sleeping in over the top, tries to find Resolution. Then the Rabbit comes through with Saksa with the steal, looking for the counterplay. He finds them all! Beautiful turn by Saksa, and then the follow-up by the Tombstone doing its work. Misery forcing them back. Faceless though, surviving through it. Black lane with the damage. The Terrorblade gets to work. It's a triple for him. It's likely to be a quad. Misery with the TP out. He won't make it. Faceless slamming the door and winning through a stolen 4 or maybe even 5-man Ravage. My god, thought Saksa had won them the fight for sure there.
But Terrorblade at the end of the day is still a hero that outputs so much of damage. Looking at the replay here, they get the jump onto Resolution, but immediately LC cancels the initiation. Rubik steals the Ravage right here.
And it was mid-anchor smash cast too. He literally hit all 5 with that. And they still lose the fight.
They couldn't kill the Terrorblade. And Luna did not get his Eclipse off because he just got destroyed right away by the Terrorblade.
What a massive fight for Faceless.
Yep.
Just when you start to count them out.
Very good jump there by Faceless. They coordinated it really well. They initiated with the DK, he stuns a target, forces the LC to come in to save the Luna, and Tide got a fantastic Ravage despite still getting stolen by the Rubik, but still it was a great first move there by Faceless. Very well done.
All of a sudden, Ice. Some nice gold in the bank for him.
He's going Refresher right away, I think. It's gonna be very important, like I mentioned. If the game goes late, the Tide has to get to the point where he has the Refresher.
Yeah, you can even just commit one to make sure you kill the Rubik and then still have another for the rest of the team, so perhaps a way to deal with that spell steal as well. But DC, they know the Ravage is on cooldown now. Yep. And they're gonna move right back in down the middle lane. Feel like they have the power play here. Moon with a big deep dive onto XY. Up there.
Rubik did not.
Suddenly, after a great Faceless by DC, not just knocking, but back or aggressively charging. Jumping with an anchor smash, he is does what he can to slow this push to Glaive. They continue to bounce, amping up the damage, forcing Nuts back. Even a zoning meteor gets, and with that, suddenly Faceless get racked like that. Decisive chaos and no reply. Faceless, it's their Shadow Demon, and more importantly, Winter, minus the Ravage, have no response.
That was such a well play there by DC. That decision making, understanding like 20 seconds to actually get the racks when Tide plus Metamorphosis was still on down. So just very, very good decision making by DC that allow that Rex.
And not having the Shadow Deep actually quite a big deal.
Yeah,
They can't disrupt the Luna to slow the push down. They don't get those extra illusions to stall.
That's very important. Like the game we saw yesterday on the who was it on the disrupt on the Luna? It meant so much in the team fights.
So great pick there by Moon to find him early, and does go to show you that even though XY might be a poor lad, he's a very important one for Faceless.
They popped a scan. They were anticipating.
Oh, and Roche is about to respawn.
They're expecting FL to try and get something in return. Sunstrike to scout things out.
A little bit early. Roche not coming up for 10 seconds.
They do have their powers right now after getting the BKB on resolution, so he's not going to be an easy target anymore.
Definitely not. They have decent physical damage, I suppose, from Black, but Luna has great armor. 19 just on her own.